Hello and welcome. My name is Heather. I am a late diagnosed autistic and ADHD human, and also a recently diagnosed person with hypermobile ehlers-danlos and a mast cell activation and dysautonomia. So if you've not seen any of my previous videos, and this is the first time we're meeting, hi, welcome. So glad you're here. And what I've decided to do this week is kind of a compilation of videos throughout the week with day-to-day videos for me, just kind of showing what it looks like for me as an autistic person who is very rigidly structured and loves to have a plan and do things a specific way, to kind of start a new exercise regimen that was prescribed by my physiotherapist, and going through this awful low histamine diet, and what a week in my life looks like. And there is a lot of ups and downs because I do have a chronic illness and I do suffer from symptoms of that and issues with that. And it was just as much for me to stay motivated and stay on track to film these as it was to share that experience with you. So I really hope that you enjoy it. And without further ado, here we go. Okay, it's Monday. It is week 2 of the low histamine diet, of trying to reset and restart my body after receiving a diagnosis for hypermobile ehlers-danlos, a mast cell activation, and dysautonomia. So knowing what I know now, that I am hypermobile, that I have had this hypermobility and connective tissue disorder my whole life, and that I have been able to, throughout the course of my life, live with it and manage it, and going from that mindset forward, but trying not to have unrealistic expectations or do too much at once, because I'm very, very guilty of that. But as an autistic person, I love a plan. So I have a plan. I think it's a very realistic plan to do the high or low histamine diet and to introduce more movement slowly but surely, to take things a little bit at a time and to build consistency practically, and not push myself too hard, but push myself a little bit. So that's where we're starting at, and we're basically starting from zero as far as building this body back up, because I have become incredibly deconditioned, which is part of the reason why I'm in so much pain. My muscle tone is just absolutely gone, and my blood volume is low, and with the dysautonomia, the exercise became very difficult. It became difficult to exercise at the capacity that I knew how to, which was go big or go home all the time. Do it hard or don't do it at all. You're wasting your time if you're not killing yourself with every workout, and you're wasting your time if you're not, starving yourself on a diet. But that's not what I want to do. I want to treat my body well. I want to take care of myself throughout this process, and I'm trying to also build a better relationship with my body. So here's some little things that I've done and that I'm hoping will be helpful moving forward, and that is to place little exercise motivators wherever I sit. So my little nesting space in the living room where I watch TV, I now have my little 2-pound weights next to that, so that as I'm sitting, if I get the urge that I need to move or I need to get up, I can do that. And I can do a little conditioning with my arms, and kind of try to build some strength back up in that upper area. I've also got resistance bands at my desk at work and also next to my seat at home, so that I can do some lower body and upper body work. Just little exercise snacks, just a little bit. 10 reps of this, 10 reps of that, and I did start this morning with a low to the ground, low on the floor kind of workout, just some basic bird dog exercises, some pelvic lifts, things like that, because I know that to build strength in my body, I need to focus on the big muscle groups. That is always how I worked out before when I was lifting heavier weights and things like that. It was, work the core, work the glutes, work the things that do the most work for you. And try to do combined exercises that don't just target one area, but target, multiple areas at a time. So my goal is not to get skinny. It's probably never going to happen. So that's a pretty realistic thing to keep in mind. I'm not trying to lose weight. I'm not going for a specific look. I'm not going for anything like that. I really just want to be consistent with the care of my own body and build back some muscle tone. And I probably will lose a little weight in that process because, you can't help but when you start making radical changes to movement and diet. So this is just a Monday check-in. I like Mondays. Again, as an autistic person, I really like schedules and routines and plans and programs, but my ADHD likes new things. So new schedules, new routines, new plans. So to accommodate both of my neurodivergence, I'm also gradually introducing new things each week into this plan to make it interesting for me, to kind of have markers as I go. Like the first week was really just focusing on being able to tolerate that low histamine diet, which is very restrictive and I won't be doing forever, but just kind of adjusting to that. I've done 2 grocery runs now where I've had to focus on what can I eat, and that is very difficult because I cannot have can't have bread, can't have wheat, grain of any kind, can't have cheese, can't have regular dairy, can't have chocolate, can't have nuts. And as somebody who eats trail mix, that's my safe food. I've eaten trail mix every day, every morning for breakfast for probably 20 years. And now I have 3 bags, 2 at work, 1 at home, of trail mix that I can't touch because I can't have nuts because they are very high histamine. So that's been my first adjustment. And then this week, the adjustment is to be consistent with a regular workout schedule. So every morning, making sure that I get at least 15 to 20 minutes of something that is not only building strength, but gets me a little breathless, makes me maybe a little sweaty. So not going hard, not overdoing, not going straight into heavy weights or anything like that. Just consistency. So this is my Monday morning check-in, and I will be checking in every day this week so that you can see how things progress and how I deal with daily potential setbacks, because I also realize that I'm not always going to have days where I feel good. Some days it is going to be a big struggle to get myself even on the floor and do a little bit of exercise. Yesterday I had good energy and I was able to do a lot of house cleaning, kind of deep pet hair and deep dust the house, because with the histamine activation, I don't need anything else that is adding to the feeling that I'm having with the mast cell activation. So I feel good about that. That gave me a little bolster to move forward today. I was like, okay, well, you did this stuff, and that's okay. And I'm a little sore today, but I'm also trying to remind myself that soreness from effort is better than soreness from no effort. So that's Monday. And there we go. And we will check back in tomorrow with another update, and I'll give you a whole week in review.
Okay, it's Tuesday. I had physical therapy this morning, and I, despite all of the systems and routines I have in place, forgot to take my Flonase and Benadryl last night, and I can definitely feel it. My face is swollen today. And I totally got my butt kicked in physical therapy today, but it was at my own request. I talked to my physical therapist and told him that I had the diagnosis for hypermobile ehlers-danlos, and I said, can we expand what we're working on to kind of help me build some core strength and some glute strength and get my body back into conditioning? And he went through some movements with me, showed me about 5-6 different exercises, even gave me a little take-home handout. Bless him. I love my physical therapist. And really showed me that I was just over moving in everything that I do. Because I have the hypermobility and flexibility and the mobility, what I really need is the strength, because my movements are, instead of being slow, small, and controlled, are large and way out of range, and I'm not targeting the correct muscle groups. So just having that little bit of input is invaluable. Also, I have to tell you, I got a sticker because, yeah, they're like a dentist, like when you go to the dentist when you were a kid and you would get a toy at the end for suffering through the pain. I get a sticker, and look at the sticker I got. It's neurospicy, so I will add that to my cup of stickers, because I am just a giant child that likes to put stickers on things, and I was never allowed to as a kid. So there's that. I feel like I'm probably going to hurt really bad today, but I'm glad that I did get the movement exercise in at the therapist's office, and I got the take-home exercises so that I can add that into my routine. They definitely work to target the hip flexors, the glutes, things like that, that are definitely deconditioned and really causing me a lot of pain, because I'm just not keeping my body stable as I move throughout the day. So trying to be more conscious of my movements and be more conscious of like even how I stand, because I do, since I'm passy outy with the dysautonomia, I have a tendency to lock my knees when I stand, and that actually really is bad for anybody with any kind of orthostatic intolerance, because it diverts the blood flow to your head. So I'm kind of in like a mini squat all the time now when I'm standing, and that takes a lot more physical effort. And I, like I said, I can feel I'm sore and swollen today. So probably by the end of the day, I'm going to be just wiped out. I tried to pre-plan for that and plan a very easy dinner. Does not take a lot of work on my part, because I know by the time I get done with work and get home today, I'm going to be wiped out. But that is Tuesday, and it's still early in the week, so let's see how the rest of the week goes. I will try to, at some point during the week, if I feel like, because I do my workouts in the morning, and y'all, if you think I look bad now, you should see me first thing in the morning. But I will try to record some of that so that you can see the movements that I'm doing, and maybe even what I'm talking about when I say I over move, like even in the bridge, like the pelvic lift position. He said, well, show me how you do that. And I did it. And he's like, wow, you're not supposed to be arching your back. It's supposed to be flat. So I was going way too high up and engaging a lot of other muscle groups that really was not the purpose of that exercise. Simply because I'm used to doing things more from the yoga standpoint. So I'm used to, putting my arms behind me on the ground and things like that. And he's like, no, that's not our goal here. Our goal is to isolate and move the glutes and engage the glutes. So, and stabilize those hips. So that's what we're doing. Yay. Very happy to kind of have some guidance. And that really did lead me kind of on another line of thought that I want to express today too, before I forget, because, it goes in and it floats right back out. But I think one of the most pivotal things in my healing journey in general, and kind of getting back to some sort of physical homeostasis, some emotional homeostasis, and this has been a long journey, but it is the fact that I have started asking for help. I always thought that I could just do it all on my own. Like I said yesterday, I love a plan. I can make a plan, and I can follow the plan, and I can do all the things, and that's going to help me, and I'll fix myself. But knowing that asking for help really does bring results. And that positive reinforcement of, even seeing a therapist, finding a psychiatrist that was engaged and listening, and, was like, hey, I don't think that it's, bipolar. I think it's ADHD, and let's get you tested for autism, and, getting that reinforcement. And then now the reinforcement from the doctor that I just finally was able to share something with someone, and someone go, yeah, I see that this really sucks for you, and let me find some ways to help you. Engaging with my physical therapist and saying, hey, show me how to do this. I think I know what I'm doing, but I really need some guidance on the proper ways to do things. And I think that dropping the idea that not only that I have to do it all on my own, but even that I can do it all on my own, has been immensely healing. And I think that's something that we all probably could take into consideration, is that you really don't heal by yourself. You don't heal in isolation, especially not from any sort of trauma. And it does take a team sometimes to get you where you need to be. So those are my thoughts for the day. That's where I'm at on a Tuesday. Let's see how the rest of the week goes. Talk to you tomorrow.
Oh, it's Wednesday. I feel like hot garbage today, and I knew these days were coming, so I'm trying not to like get discouraged. But yesterday I had the chills all day, and I've noticed for me that that's like an indicator that I am getting ready to have like a flare up or an activation. I don't know what it is, but had the chills all day, and then toward the end of the day something happened at work. It immediately made me nauseous, got kind of like an anxious feeling. Then on my way home I started flushing, my whole face turned bright red. I felt hot but cold, like still had the chills. Got home and it got even worse. I felt like I needed to lay down. I was very nauseous, very dizzy. And then just really did not regain any kind of energy after that this morning. I'm very tired. I still feel like I have the chills. My belly swelly, very swollen. Face is swollen. You can see I got pretty bad bags under my eyes. So just not feeling it today. Not feeling great today, but still looking at the bigger picture. And just going to take time and take care of myself today and be kind to myself today. And got decent lunch and dinner planned, and that's all we can do, right? Take it as it comes and take care of ourselves when it comes. So here we go. That's Wednesday, and I'll see you tomorrow. It's Thursday, one day, and then one more day, and then the week is over. Yay! Yesterday was awful. I felt terrible all day long. About 3 o'clock, I just kind of crashed to the point that I couldn't think. I couldn't see straight. I couldn't do anything. So I left work early, went home, crashed, slept a couple hours, got up, took a shower, then went right back to bed. And just slept and slept. So this morning I feel a little more rested, but I'm still taking it easy with myself. And I wanted to talk today because I knew that this would be a thing. I didn't know it would happen within this week of me filming, but I knew that I would face my illness, I guess, and have to come to terms with the fact that every day is not going to be a good day. And yesterday was a really bad day physically. I just was in a really bad place, and immediately the discouraged feeling of, what are you even doing? Why are you even trying to get better or feel better or lose weight or get stronger, any of that crap? Why are you even trying? Because you're going to have to deal with this crap all the time when you're so exhausted that you really literally cannot even form a sentence. How are you supposed to be positive? How are you supposed to maintain motivation and do things that are good for you? But I did go through it, and today I'm on the other side of it, thank goodness, because multiple days in a row like that are even more trying. They're even more discouraging. It's even harder to pick back up and move forward. And it starts to feel like this is life. This is my life. And I know that that is an autistic thing, that very fatalistic view of this is forever. It's always going to be like this. Not being able to remember the good things and kind of getting stuck in the bad times. And that's something I've fought with my whole life. So I'm accustomed to it now. And I'm trying to kind of rewire my brain that one bad day does not mean the end of the world. It's kind of like when you're on like a diet or something and you're like, well, it's been 2 weeks, I haven't lost any weight, so screw it, I'm just going to eat everything, and that's kind of what it feels like when you feel bad. It's like, okay, I'm doing this huge restrictive diet to get these histamines out of me. I'm taking stuff. I'm doing everything the doctor said. I'm doing everything the physio said. I'm, trying to build muscle and maintain a positive attitude and stay focused on the bigger picture. And then, like I said, it's really hard to factor any of that into your mind when you really just are so exhausted and so worn out and feel miserable, like physically feel miserable. It's very hard to maintain any kind of positive attitude. But I just kept telling myself throughout the day, and even when people would ask, I would just say, it's just a day. It'll pass. It's just a day. It'll pass. It'll pass. And inevitably, it always does. Whatever it is, whatever the thing is that has me feeling fatalistic and feeling like it's the end of the world, it does pass. And I know it will. Even in the midst of it, I know it will, but it's hard to keep that in mind sometimes. So I almost forget why I started filming every day this week. But I really did want to show kind of what it's like a week in the life, I guess, of an autistic, ADHD, chronically ill, hypermobile, chronically exhausted human being. So, what's that Facts of Life song? You take the good, you take the bad. It's all in 1 week. So, I hope you're enjoying this so far, and I will check back in with you tomorrow, and hopefully today physically goes better for me. I am accommodating myself by wearing sweatpants and a comfy t-shirt today. My job allows me to do that, so I am lucky in that respect, and I will accommodate myself by taking it easy and not putting too much pressure on myself and my body today, and just hope for the best, because that's all we can do. All right, see you tomorrow. Well, we made it to Friday. Yay! Which I know if you don't work a Monday through Friday job, Friday means nothing to you. But I do. I work banker's hours, Monday through Friday, like 9 to 5. So I made it through the whole week. That's good. That's a good thing. I consider that a win. Especially when midweek I had such a bad body day. So, and I also forgot to mention throughout this process that I have been using a food and symptom tracker. I'll try to insert some photos of that because I don't carry it with me, just so you can see it. And I'll put a link to it if I can find it, because I found it on Amazon, and it really is very helpful. It tracks everything from your bowel movements, your mood that day, what you ate at each meal, and if you had snacks, the medicines that you've taken, your pain levels, and what type of pain it was. And you can put notes on there too, which I like to include the weather, because I do know that the weather has effects on how I function. Like Wednesday, when I was feeling so terrible, it was actually a really high pollen day. So I put together that, if I'm having this histamine reaction, that maybe that kind of just added to the load and made it too much. So still don't know what the problem was Wednesday. Also considered that it could have been from me missing the Flonase and the Benadryl the one day that I did this week. So, not having that in my system to block those histamines could have been what caused all the problems. So, don't know, can't always figure out the why, and I have to accept that, which as an autistic person is very hard. I need the why. If I know the why, I can go and try to figure out the how, and how it got there, and how this happened, and whatever. But sometimes things are unfigureoutable, and that's just something that I have to come to terms with, that I can't figure it all out. But I did get to exercise yesterday. I did some reps at work with my resistance band. I got up late this morning, so I did not do my normal exercises at home. So I will try to do that again today or this evening. I am considering it a win if I get in, 15 to 20 minutes of targeted exercise. And I'm still trying to just move more during the day, get up and walk around and things like that, because I do sit for a living. So that's also terrible for my body right now. So all in all, a successful week, I guess. Everything didn't go to plan, but that's life, and it rarely does. And again, I'm learning to accept that it's not always going to be rainbows and unicorns. It's not always going to be easy to stay positive, but that to keep in mind it'll pass, that it will pass. And so that is my week, and I will probably do an editing Heather weekend review, and after I go back and watch all these videos and put everything together, and get a little more clues into how things went. But I hope this gave you some insight into what it is like to live every day as an autistic ADHD person that has a chronic illness that is desperately trying to get some semblance of control back of her body, because that's really what we're going for. Feel better. Just feel better. Not hurt, not be so out of it, not have days, which I probably still will, where I can't think and I can't form a sentence. Some things are out of my control, and I understand that, but I'm trying to control what I can, what's in my locus of control. So, thanks for hanging out with me this week, and if you made it this far, because I know several days have been almost 10 minutes long, then yay, thank you. And I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope it gave you some kind of insight, did something for you, other than just helping me out by talking my way through every morning. So, thank you for listening. Well, as promised, here's Editing Heather with a wrap up for the video that you just watched. It has been a heck of a week for me, kind of a roller coaster as far as my health goes, but that is absolutely not abnormal for me. I really do have, more often than not, 1, 2, sometimes the whole week where I am just physically wasted. The chronic fatigue that I experience, the dysautonomia, the dizziness, the brain fog, the blood pooling when I stand too long, things like that. It's really difficult to function, much less to hold down a full-time job, to, work 40 plus hours a week, travel back and forth to work, maintain a household, keep things clean and tidy, take care of pets, take care of myself, and institute things that I'm doing now, like a special diet and an exercise routine. But I really am trying. And as I mentioned in one of the daily videos, this is the first time I'm sharing any of this with anyone. I have always felt the need to do it all myself, that I was the only one responsible for me and I was the only one who could fix me. But I'm not obviously able to fix anything. The diagnoses that I have are all lifelong things, and the most that I can really hope for, and what I am really aiming for, is just to build some strength, like I said, to have a better relationship with my body. And hopefully in doing those things, it will lessen my symptoms. There's no cure for hypermobile EDS. There is no cure for mast cell activation. There's just treatments, and most of these things are just what seems like logical things, building strength, eating well, sleeping enough, resting when you need to rest. But as we all know, those things are not as easy as they sound, or as logical as they sound or may seem. So I appreciate you hanging in through the video, and I appreciate your support and watching the video. If you enjoyed it, please, like, subscribe, leave me a quick comment. I will put the link for that symptom tracker down in the comments. I was able to locate it. It's very low priced. And it is on Amazon, and I found it very helpful just for my own knowledge of kind of being able to see, okay, well, I ate this and then I felt like crap, or, I ate garbage for 2 days in a row and no wonder I'm dizzy and can't stand up the next day. So, if you like writing things down and you're not an app person, I'm very much a physical paper person, then I think a book like this might be helpful for you. It certainly has been helpful for me to keep track of things. I will also link in the description the next video you can watch if you have not watched it already, which is my previous video regarding my diagnosis, the symptoms that I've been experiencing in full, all the specialists that I've seen, and how I finally found a doctor who listened and who spotted the hypermobile ADS just right off the bat. I didn't even mention it. So I appreciate you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for hanging out with me this week and being my support system. And I will talk to you next week. Thanks. Love you. Bye.